friends of the internet. Welcome to General Nerdcast, episode 64? 64? 64? And Nintendo 64. 69 minus 5.
Yes.
Sexy time, baby.
Yeah. So.
Probably shouldn't have said 69 and then did the tongue thing. That was probably a little too far, huh?
Maybe a little bit.
Suck it. Today we're going to do kind of an open discussion like we always do every other Wednesday, because we did a review last Wednesday. This Wednesday we're just going to talk. Today we're going to talk about reviews, because we started doing reviews, like I just said. We've done 2 so far. We reviewed the Castlevania anime on Netflix, and we've done an anime called Punchline.
Yes.
Next week we're doing Food Wars, the first season. We're not going to do both seasons that are out, because that's too much to watch. Too much to talk about. So we're going to do Food Wars Season 1 next Wednesday, so make sure you tune in for that.
Yeah.
But today we're going to talk about reviews in like as a whole and in general, and how
you
shouldn't take them to heart.
Yeah, don't take them to heart. What do you expect from a review? And I mean, how do you base your reviews off of, like, what does the review make it worth doing with whatever product you're going after?
And like, what's the lowest review of something that you will actually purchase or go do? I guess. So let's just start with names.
This is Bobby.
Yeah.
That was a burp.
Burping.
This is Tyler.
This is Tyler.
Yes.
Big dick, deep voice, Tyler.
What? I don't know.
I don't know either.
All right.
Just say words and they come out, and it's Big Dick Tyler.
Perfect.
So let's just start with what's like the lowest review of something that you would feel comfortable actually getting?
Well, for me personally, I don't read a lot of reviews or anything before I go for, like, video games or movies. That's really not that important to me. I personally, like, maybe products. Maybe, like, if I was looking for, I don't know, new TV or a new computer part or something like that, I'll read reviews to try and see if I'll buy a product that's rated at a 1 through like customer reviews. If all the customer reviews are like shitty seeming reviews, to where
there's a lot of those.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, this product's stupid, and that's it. Like, really?
Or like, I love the ones where they're like, it came broken because the shipping company broke it in shipping.
So it's a terrible product.
Yeah, so bad product. And it's like, no, the shipping company is just bad people. And I bet if you contacted the people that made the product instead of just writing a shitty, dumb review because you think people give a shit about your opinion, they'd probably just give you a new one. Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, sorry about that. We'll repay the shipping to send it back or whatever.
Our bad. Yeah.
They'll do what a smart company or
generally most companies will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless they're just terrible, like Charter. Charter Internet, you suck.
But yeah,
quick shout out to them.
Yeah, there you go.
Fuck you, Charter.
Sponsor us.
No. You couldn't pay me enough to fucking whore your company.
No. That's fair. But yeah, so I don't base a lot of my purchases off of reviews unless it's a product, like a physical product that I'm going to be continuously working with or something.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And even then, I'm still iffy on the reviews just because I know some people are very, very, the only word that's popping to mind, and it's not the one I want to use, but juvenile about the reviews.
No, that word works.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I get what you're saying, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
I'll try and read a lot of the reviews or whatnot when I go through. But when it comes to video games and whatnot, I base it more off of, oh, that game looks interesting, or if enough people talk the game up, then I might actually get in. Like,
unless it's Uncharted, then you won't play it, because we tell you all the fucking time to play Uncharted.
That's more of it just pisses you guys
protest,
off. Yeah. So
you're an asshole.
And I still think we need to do that idea later, where you'll
have to remind me later.
Yeah, I'll bring it up later. But yeah, so for video games, and I still don't do it for movies. Like, I don't base I want to go see that movie off of movie reviews. Like, when you told me that the Assassin's Creed one was bad, like, that was the closest thing I got to a review.
And like my basis on that was that it got bad reviews.
Yeah.
So
But I'm also more inclined to believe that one because it's a video game movie.
and they've all been pretty terrible.
Yeah. So, what do you like? How do you base your reviews?
How do I base my reviews?
Well, I guess like what's your deciding factor? How low will you go when you're purchasing stuff for review? I guess that's kind of what we started with, and I veered off.
Yeah. So I was like, I didn't get my opinion. I didn't get my turn. I hate this show because I didn't get my turn. That's my review. No, I'm very similar. Kind of like what you said, where gaming reviews aren't really a huge factor in me for buying games.
Yeah.
I'll usually glance through things when it comes to gaming reviews. I'll like read their breakdown,
Okay.
and then the score. But the score really doesn't matter to me because, I mean, like look at Knack. Knack got pretty bad reviews out the gate, and it was a game that I liked a lot. Like I thought it was fun, it was entertaining, and that was one of my first platinum trophies was Knack.
Yeah.
So, for me, reviews aren't really that important when it comes to games because the biggest thing about reviews is kind of like matter of opinion. The only time a review that I feel like a negative review that I would listen to is if they come out and say the game is broken. Like you can't do this because it glitches out. You can't do that because this glitch happens. That will veer me away from the game. Like I don't want to fucking play a broken game. I'm not gonna spend $60 and wait 2 months for you to fucking patch a game.
Yeah.
Now that's not to say something like with Mass Effect Andromeda, where they were like the facial expressions don't work right. It's like that doesn't bother me. Whatever.
That's alright.
Yeah, like your face looks fucking weird. Great. Well, I'm gonna fucking move past that because I want to play the story, not look at your dumb face for fucking 8 hours. So if I see a face and I'm like, oh, that was kind of weird, I'll move on. But like with Assassin's Creed, where the faces were just missing, that's a problem.
I think I'm back and forth on that one. If I read it in a review, I think depending on what the glitch or the problem was, if it was something like the faces just disappeared, that actually might push me more towards wanting to buy it because I'm like,
it'd be funny.
I want that glitch. I want to see that.
How do I glitch? How do I glitch?
But then again, it also if it was like it happens all the time. That if it was like, oh, every now and then, like sometimes when I load the game, a face isn't doing it, so I just reload it and it's working. But if it was like it's constantly happening with every character, like I can't see certain people, that would veer me away a little bit.
No, like I guess that's probably the better way I should have explained it. If it's like a every once in a while thing, it's whatever.
Yeah.
But most recently, like with the Telltale Batman season 1, there was the whole like Arkham fight scene where you're like fighting through Arkham Asylum and like it's like a jailbreak kind of thing, and then there's like 4 or 5 people that just aren't there because the game doesn't render them there, and then all of a sudden you just see like teeth and eyes fly past the screen, and you're like, what the fuck is even happening right now? Like that is an issue for me. But I guess with Assassin's Creed one, it is kind of more like, oh, that's fucking weird. Moving on. I guess I don't know.
If it's
I guess I was too harsh on that one, but
yours made sense. I wanted to go in detail, I guess.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What was I saying? Oh yeah, games. But like most game reviews, most times I'll read them or like watch the video on them, or like I won't even do that. I'll just like oh cool, a review. I'll click on it and then just skip to the end to see what they say.
Oh,
right?
okay,
I just want the breakdown. Like tell me what's wrong with the game, what it does well, and what it does bad. If it's like a game like Hellblade, if they came out and they're like the combat was awful, the storyline is good, but the combat is awful, I'd be like, I don't know if I can do that because that's a big part of the game. But again, it was probably a game I was going to buy regardless, so that's something that I do too. Is I'm like, I don't care about reviews. I love the concept of this game. I love the idea, so I'm going to fucking play it. And if it's bad, then I'll deal with the consequences later. For me, with like movies, I don't really give a shit about reviews. I more like go off of like what I see in the trailer and what I see in like not really like reviews, but like what people are saying.
Yeah,
like it's all right. It's
you'll
pretty
get
good.
personal
like,
opinions instead of a big review,
a professional
companies.
reviewer. Yeah.
Okay.
People that I trust in movies and stuff. So that's kind of like where I stand with that. We talked about like touching on the Assassin's Creed thing again. We talked about how Assassin's Creed was gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Before the first trailer even hit, we were like, "This is an awful idea. It's gonna be bad."
Yeah.
And then it came out and it was like a mediocre movie, and I was like, I mean, it's not that I don't want to see it because eventually I'll probably sit down and watch it, but it's just one of those things where video games are so hard to translate into movies that as soon as they say that they're doing that, I just write it off as a bad movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that happens a lot just because the studio tries to make it their own adaptation, and because it's not what the game is, it turns out bad.
You have this whole idea and concept of what it has to be, and then it comes out and it's not that, and you're like, well, you didn't follow any of the formula of the game, so you probably should have just changed the name and gave it like a, well, it kind of feels like Assassin's Creed, sort of. But so some movie reviews I don't ever read and I don't really give a shit about. If it's a movie that I'm interested in, I'm gonna go fucking watch it, or I'll buy it and I'll fucking watch it. Like the superhero movies, I'll probably watch all of them.
Yeah.
The only one that I haven't seen yet that I need to sit down and actually give a chance is Batman versus Superman. And the only reason that I haven't is just because like all of the people, there's only like 2 people that I know that have seen it, and they're like, it's a good movie, you need to watch it. Everybody else is kind of like, the story just doesn't make sense, like the translation is awful, and like all this other stuff. So I was like, okay. And then like director's cut came out and everybody's like, this is you watch the director's cut and it explains the shit that it doesn't make sense. So it's like, so why did you just not put all that in the movie? Because editing and stuff is stupid.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe we can sit down and watch that one day.
Yeah.
I could do a review on that or something.
Yeah.
That could be fun.
I'll tell you what, if we sit down and watch it and it's a good movie, because Greg Miller swears up and down that it's a good movie. And he tells like almost like all the fucking time. He's always like, Batman vs Superman is a good movie, and he says it all the fucking time. If it's a good movie, I'll get a tattoo that says Batman vs Superman is a good movie.
We'll change it up, but yeah, I don't know what we'll change it to because
that
just seems like a really long sentence.
No, Batman v Superman was a good movie.
Yeah, I guess you do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Because he could just like a VS or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But way off topic. So movies. Movie reviews don't matter to me. If it's something that I want to see, I'm gonna go fucking watch it. I don't care.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same on that one.
I base my opinion 100% if I'm gonna see a movie on the trailers they show me. So, like with the new Annabelle movie, I was like, this movie doesn't look good. I'm not gonna go watch it.
Only reason I want to watch it is because I've watched the others.
Yep, that's kind of where I'm at too. I'm invested in the series, so I want to continue it. But,
yeah, I'm not gonna look for reviews on that one.
I'm looking over at my movies right now. I'm trying to figure out like movies that
you may have read a review on or something.
No, movies that I like saw the trailer and I was like, that looks good, and then it was bad. Well, the Lara Croft movies were terrible, but again, video game movie.
Yeah, I will say the Gran Torino trailers, I don't think they were super exciting, but I love that movie.
Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes.
I love the trailers for that movie just because the concept of the idea. Still haven't watched it. I love the idea of the movie, and I think it's just goofy as fuck, and I think I would love it because it's goofy.
Yeah.
And like Samuel L. Jackson's in it, so it's like he's gonna make it trying to kind of be serious, but it's
not
fucking snakes on a plane, dude. So like,
my favorite thing, I've never seen that movie, but my favorite thing is a meme that goes around. And it's like it's a text conversation, boyfriend-girlfriend text conversation. He's like, hey, babe, you want to watch a movie tonight? She's like, yeah, sure, what do you want to watch? He's like, how about Snakes on a Plane? She's like, what's that movie about? Horses on boats. Just, it's about horses on boats.
Yeah. It's literally in the title. I'm trying to think of another movie that...
Okay, while you look and think, is there a price point to where a review completely doesn't matter where you would buy a game? Like, I know you don't base it too much off of reviews, but if a game was cheap enough, like Senua's Sacrifice was only $30, would a review matter at all if it was that low a price point, or would it need to be lower for reviews to just not matter?
At a 50% okay, so games nowadays are $60.
Yeah.
With tax like 64 or something in Nevada.
Yeah.
So at that point, at half off of a game, no.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'll give it a fucking shot. It's $30.
Yeah.
Like, and it's the same thing with the newest Uncharted games coming Wednesday. So it just came out yesterday, Tuesday, August 22nd. It came out August 22nd. A lot of people are giving it like middle of the road reviews. I think the dogs are getting into something.
They might be.
Those motherfuckers. But they're getting it in like middle of the road reviews, and
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm still gonna fucking get it and play it.
Yeah.
Not solely because I'm invested in the Uncharted series, because I played all 4, I platinumed all 4, but more so because I love the idea of Uncharted, and I love the characters that they're using.
Yeah.
Chloe got that booty, and Nadine is a total badass. So I'm really, really intrigued, and I really want to play it, so I'm gonna fucking play it.
Okay.
I don't give a shit that it got like 7s and 8s or
yeah.
whatever. Like, I mean, those are still pretty good reviews, but considering like all of the other Uncharted games were like 9s and 10s,
Yeah.
this is kind of like bad reviews for that. And like one of the reviews, I totally discarded because it like he was like, everything's so good, like everything is great, everything is perfect, but the world is too open. I'm like, what?
That is kind of the
what?
Kind of the part of reviews I really wanted to touch on is the person who's reviewing.
Yeah.
Their view on the games they like. You gotta,
yeah, and it's like, no, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, you gotta base your on the not so much the review itself, but who is doing the review is kind of the way it has to go now, because there's so many different people from so many different companies doing reviews that the person doing the review, like, I don't believe they have a whole team playing the game and all giving the information to one guy. I'm pretty sure it's just that one person.
Which
doing
would
the
be
review.
a great fucking way to do a review.
Yeah, no, that would be
have a team of people that sit down and fucking play the game, and then
whether
you
it's solo,
all
co-op,
talk
whatever
about
it is. Yeah.
you all sit down and talk about it, and then you take an average of all the reviews you have,
Yeah.
and then you're like, this is our average review for the team that we had.
Yeah.
Because that would make way more fucking sense than being like, this one person played through the game, they played Fallout 4, but they hate sandbox open games, so they gave it a 7.
Yeah. Like,
Because it was too much, it was too open, I got lost, and it's like, so you're a person that normally plays fighting games. You're a fighting game kind of
linear
guy.
path game,
Yeah.
something.
And you just happened to fall upon Fallout,
Yeah.
and you hated it because it wasn't your style of game.
Yeah.
That's why I fucking hate people that do reviews. I hate us when we do reviews. But see, like, that's another thing.
also-
It's like
yeah.
when we're doing it, we talk, you give your score, Casey gives his score, I give my score,
Yeah.
and then we talk about the scores that we gave it and why we gave them the scores.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like if you take the average of all those scores, that's the score
Yeah,
the
but-
whole production gives it.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way we do kind of do it the way that we just said that we should do it. So
Slightly. We don't give a overall score, but we could start doing that.
yeah, I mean, I'm done doing overall score.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's instead of just doing a one-person review that sits down and talks about the whole thing,
Yeah.
and it's not even like another thing. Like, you play all fighting games. You're a fighting game person. Like, that's your favorite type of game. And then you sit down with like Wolfenstein, first-person shooter. You're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
Immediately, you're going in with bad expectations. Automatically, it's getting a 7 at best
Yeah.
because you don't like the style of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things that I think companies need to really look closely. Like, all right, this person tends to give these type of, because they're not going to change it to the group format.
They won't because it's too much work.
It's too much work, too much money. They'd have to pay too many different people for one review. So they're just going to leave it to the one person to do it. But if they have multiple people who are doing reviews, they can be like, all right, well, you need to review this game because you're an open world game player. You need to review this game because you're a fighting game player. Like, you're going to give it maybe a more favored review, or they're going to have two people do it. Like, it's still group, but you can get two people on opposite ends and then do a mixed review together.
Yeah. Do somebody that doesn't play this type of game and see if they're impressed.
Yeah. So,
And then do somebody that does do this type of game and see if it lives up to their expectations.
yeah. And another thing with the reviews, I mean, they're more based off of the person who's viewing it. That's what we just went over. But another thing is that I don't think it's as based for the public. Like, yes, they're giving it to the public to read and whatnot, but they're not basing their review for the public. Like, they're explaining, oh, I hated the part where you had to do this. It's like, no, you should be like, I had to do this. It wasn't my style, but this is a kind of a cool concept where you had to figure out this puzzle for a jumping maze or something. They're like, oh, they have stupid jumping patterns or something.
Yeah.
Like, that's the type of thing that comes out in the review.
And see, that goes back to it's not your style of game.
Yeah.
And so automatically you write it off as shit.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like reviews are getting less towards the public and more like, oh, people are just going to read it because it's a review.
And this is my opinion, and everybody loves my opinions, and my opinions are the best.
Yeah. So, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of reading reviews. Sometimes they're fun to read. I do admit there's some little kicks people do at games or whatnot that are funny. But in general, I don't reflect a bunch on their reviews because it's not going to be my deciding factor.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. What was the other questions we had for each other?
I don't know. You had something to say and then I continued and I kind of lost track of where you tried to bring it up.
I don't remember. I guess the biggest thing about any review ever that you ever read or anything like that, like we said, I've said a million times, and I'll probably say it a million fucking more. It's all a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
And the best way to go into any situation is to not have any real expectations. Like we did with you with The Last of Us. We talked it up so hard, and then you were kind of like, it was okay.
Yeah.
And we're like, that was the greatest game ever made.
Yeah, for months. The greatest game. You'll never regret playing it. You'll just...
And then you were kind of just like, meh.
It's okay.
So
I want to play the second one since none of us have experienced it. It may completely blow my mind.
It could.
But
So it's kind of like that situation. I fucking lost my train of thought again.
don't want to blow games up too much.
Yeah. So
Or
because if you talk them up, and then somebody plays them, and it's like,
yeah.
well, I mean, I get what you guys are trying to say, but you might have done it a little too hard.
Yeah, you might have overfilled the cup there.
Yeah. Oh, filled the cup. I like that. So, I know everything's a matter of opinion, and you shouldn't take anybody's opinion to heart. You should craft your own opinion, go into it with no expectations, and sit down and just make your own review.
Yeah.
Review as you're playing it. Like, well, that part kind of sucked, but it was what it was, and we did it, and we're over it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dwell on it and let it ruin my whole experience with the game or movie or whatever. So, yeah, craft your own reviews anytime you're doing anything.
Yeah. I think one of the few things, like, if I'm really uncertain about a game, sometimes I'll look at the number. I won't read a full review on it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I got a 6 here. That's still better than half.
Yeah. That's still like a D. It's not failing.
Yeah. Like, I really don't think there's the lowest point or the lowest number that would completely deter me from a game. Maybe a low number that would make me really be like, why did it get a 3 or something?
Yeah.
And even then, I still don't know if that would completely stop me after reading the review.
Yeah, if it was one of those ones where I got like a super fucking low score, I'd have to read it and be like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
And then read through it and be like, well, okay, your opinion, this does make sense. You didn't like this. You play these kind of games or whatever.
There's very few, like, authentic reviews that are trusting, in my opinion.
I agree. 100%.
It's
hard.
At least now. Maybe back in the day there was a lot more, like when they solely came out in magazines and it wasn't, you can find a review like every day on something.
Yeah, there's 8 different review things you go through, and then there's Metacritic, and where it's like a mix of personal views and professional views, and it's just too much now.
Yeah.
But
for reviewing, I know we try not to spoil stuff. We're not that good at that with the animes.
It fucking happens.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to give like an overview of what you're talking about.
Yeah, it is. An overview is very difficult. How many spoiler-ish type stuff would you not mind seeing in a review?
I would prefer none.
You would prefer,
but like I just said, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
But I think as long as they don't give any like huge story spoilers away,
yeah, story.
then I'm okay with it. Or if it's like a typed out review, like most of them are now, or I guess some people do video reviews, and I fucking hate those. Video reviews, I just skip straight to the end, and it's like, just give me the fucking score. I don't want you to tell me anything. But if I actually read through the whole review, which is very rare, usually I'll always just jump to the score. Like, tell me if it's worth playing or not.
Yeah.
Or tell me, like, what you think is worth playing or not. Like I said, I prefer none, but if they're kind of like small spoilers, like, when you jump into this pit, there's snakes at the bottom, which doesn't actually affect anything, but now I know that when I jump into the pit, there's snakes.
Yeah.
So it's spoiler-ish, but not like something that ruins the whole experience for me.
Okay.
Something like that I'm okay with.
You're okay with that? What if, like, it's a weapon spoiler? Like, oh, I found this great sword or something in this location. Maybe not location, but found this great sword in this spot this point in the game, and it does amazing type of attacks, and it explains some of the attacks in details or something. How
I wouldn't want that. I don't want that? Don't tell me about everything that it does. Tell me where you found it, and maybe I'll go find it and I'll fucking play around with it, and then I'll learn it that way. But I don't want to hear all the fucking details up and down around it, you know?
All right. Let's see. I don't know if I have too many other questions on reviews. Like,
I don't even remember the questions we asked in the beginning. I think we probably touched on most of them, just ranting and talking. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like reviews are hit and miss. There's very few that are worth reading anymore sometimes, just because certain companies, I'm just going to throw it out there, Kotaku, I don't like a lot of the people that do the reviews for stuff because they're way more opinionated towards what they like in games than what the game actually is. Like, oh, I thought that concept was stupid because they'd said this or something. Or totally based off of the company and not even the game. Like, well, we're going to do a review anyways, but it sucks because of the company.
Yeah, Ubisoft is a shitty company.
No, you guys just
so you're going
are in bad standings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, with like that yeah. That whole thing.
Yeah.
Like with Bethesda and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard to find trustworthy people to do reviews because there's so many people doing so many different reviews on so many different things.
Yeah.
I guess is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where, like, even like my opinion and my reviews, like, I don't expect anybody to take it to heart. I don't expect anybody to be like, well, he only gave it a 6. Not doing that. Like, I 100% would never recommend you do that with anything. Always craft your own opinion. Always do your research, and if it's something you're interested in, as long as you have the money.
Yeah.
Obviously, don't waste money on something you don't, the money you don't have. But if you have the money and you're interested, just fucking go for it.
Yeah.
The worst that happens is you have a bad experience and you trade it in or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It may end up being worth the shot more than just completely not experiencing it.
Yeah. It's definitely... You miss 100% the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's been episode 64.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else to talk about reviews without just beating a dead horse.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't trust anybody. Make your own reviews.
Yeah.
So
you can gather information from reviews, but don't base it solely off of those.
Yeah.
Like we've said probably like 8 times.
Yeah, like I said, I'll say it a million fucking times. Don't listen to me when I review stuff.
This has been episode 64 of General Nerdcast, our open topics. If you guys have any suggestions, you can hit us up at Facebook, General Nerdcast, at General Nerdcast on Twitter, generalnerdcast@gmail.com. I almost forgot.
Yes.
Oh, God, what's it called?
Email. We also have a Patreon page if you want to help us out and help us grow the show so we can do more shows, do more stuff, start doing live shows down the road, but we got to upgrade our equipment first, obviously.
Yeah.
You can do that at Patreon.com. My train of thought is fucking awful right now. You can do that at patreon.com/GeneralNerdcast. You can get on there and help us out that way. But being here and listening is plenty enough for me. Make sure you like, subscribe, download, comment, do all that stuff. It helps out a lot. So it helps us grow and moves us further up the ladder and hibbity hoobla.
Hooblops.
But it does help out a lot. So do it on iTunes, subscribe and download on Google Play, and YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And make sure you like and comment on the videos there.
Yeah.
I think that was all the stuff we have.
I think
right?
so. Yeah. That's always stuff now, right?
That's all we stuff now, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's all we stuff now. So, this has been General Nerdcast.
Yeah.
If you're listening to us in the morning, hope you have a great morning, great rest of your day. Listening to us in the afternoon, hope you had a great morning, have a great afternoon, and a great rest of your evening. If you're listening in the evening, don't do it while you're eating dinner. Do it while you're eating dessert, so we can fill your sweet ears with sweet treats, with sweet voices, while you stuff your mouth with super good treat stuff. Great job, baby. This is just right before you go to bed. Hope you have great sleep, great dreams, and get a full recommended hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And we love you. Thank you.
Smooches.